welcome back to a quick review Thursday. If you've noticed, it's just me today. Paul got really busy. We all got really busy, and we got as much stuff as we could get done, but we just couldn't get this done in time for all of us to do one. So I decided, or we just both decided that we would split it and do one by ourselves, like we used to. Like it started, with an actual quick review. So it's been sort of, the reviews are sort of getting longer now, just like this intro. So the movie I decided to do was the 2017 film Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, originally titled Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Then it got changed to just Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. And then last but not least, it got changed to Jekyll and Hyde. It stars, let's see, Gianni Capaldi, Margaret O'Brien, Mickey Rooney, Vernon Wells, David Beatty, Jed Rowan, Zen Alda, Mickey Rooney, Vernon G. Wells, Sean Picciano, William McNamara, Alyssa Dowling, and Randall Malone, and Hans probably butchered that name. Anyway, point is, this was also directed by, God, why does everybody have to have like a hard name to pronounce? B. Luciano Barzuglia, based on and that's written and directed by him. Based on the original story by Robert Louis Stevenson. B. Luciano also did the director of photography, and the music was done by Robert Aquato. So I will tell you that I got this at a Wild Eye sale, and you'll see that in my haul for the month of May haul that'll be coming out in June. So what happened was, I was looking for something, and this was semi-cheap. I think I forgot how much it was. It was like a couple bucks or something to buy this DVD. And I was like, sure, on that sale. So I was like, Jekyll and Hyde looks like a fun little movie. So I bought it, got it sent to me. And it was, I watched it, and for like an indie film to do like period piece, man, you got to have some balls. I'm not going to lie, because a lot of times period pieces look terrible. There's usually something in there, and there probably was. There's usually something in there that just wasn't right for that time period. Maybe a car goes by or something that just wasn't that time period or whatever. And you can't help that, and you can't edit it out. You can't, like whatever, sometimes, and you just got to leave that in there. I didn't notice anything with this. This seemed legit, and everybody did a great job trying to sort of be a person in the, because the funniest thing was, it was shot in mainly shot in California, like I think I saw like Huntington Beach and in places like that, and whatnot. And then all of a sudden, and I think I even saw Van Nuys, where I used to live. And then it got switched over to Glasgow or something. And I was like, good God. So they did film some of it, in like Glasgow to make it look more foreign, but probably not all of, like just little bits and pieces, like what they could do to make it look more legit. So anyway, I thought it was pretty good. It was supposed to, I think, from what I've understood, was it was made back in like earlier than, it was like maybe 2013 that they tried doing it. And then it didn't get released till 2017. And the reason I know that is 2014, something like that, because Mickey Rooney died in 2014. So there's no way he could have done a movie in 2017 unless he shot his parts earlier than that. And then maybe they filmed some of the rest later or something, how production companies are. So I totally get it. Mickey Rooney was great. Fucking Margaret O'Brien was great. All the cast, Jed Rowan, the guys who played Jekyll and Hyde. Yes, there were two people. There wasn't just one person. Usually there's only one person playing Jekyll and Hyde, and it's usually somebody, because like how it all started, I believe, with that was that in the book, it was supposed to look like a different person. You're not supposed to look like the same. He wasn't supposed to look like Dr. Jekyll, or yeah, Mr. Hyde wasn't supposed to look like Dr. Jekyll. They were supposed to transform into a monster, basically. So they create this Hyde guy but in the original movies, it was like, if I'm correct, it was Lon Chaney who did it. I'm not sure if it was, I think it was the original Lon Chaney, not his son. His son sort of did the same thing, but they would generally play like, parts where they would put a lot of heavy makeup on and it would look like a completely different person. And I thought that was freaking amazing when people did that, back then. Nowadays, it's, you could also do that with makeup, but it was cool to see two completely different people. The only problem I have with the movie, and this is why I think I gave it 3 stars, and I didn't mention this in my Letterboxd review, but the only problem I had with the movie was that they have these scenes with him talking to himself or something, and and it just felt a little weird because like the way they do it, like, okay, let me take this as an example. There's a new show that's on Disney called Moon Knight. Moon Knight is pretty awesome. But there's a way that they do the split personality thing. Like, they'll talk in mirrors or something and stuff like that, just so the audience can understand that these are not the same two people. These are two completely different characters, even though they look the same. So when you see a movie like this, and it's so much easier to be able to do that, where you just look in a mirror and you see maybe a completely different person and you're talking to them, that would have been cool. But really, they have them like on the street talking to each other, another room talking to each other, whatever. The rain doesn't like me doing that. I'm talking about this, but oh well. So yeah, so they don't know, whatever. But I thought it was a decent movie. I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. It was entertaining. It was cute. It had some good moments to it. I enjoyed it. I had, I was never really bored, especially since they did the whole old-timey thing. A lot of times back in those days, I get kind of bored with those movies where they're just talking about blah, blah, blah stuff going on in the, this was the big thing about the will. They kept very good with the Robert Louis Stevenson adaptation. However, they did do something kind of cool, like Wink Wink, which was they got Mickey Rooney and Margaret O'Brien in the movie. Both of them have been in like big time movies and they're big stars and whatnot, and they had them together as Mrs. Lewis and Mr. Stevenson or something like that. Or vice versa, whatever it was. And I thought that was pretty cool. It's obviously Louis Stevenson. It was a very big nod to Robert Louis Stevenson, but they did it well enough where if you weren't familiar that was the writer of the book, or whatever, you wouldn't have noticed it, or what I mean? Like, so it didn't really bother me. They didn't make a big deal out of it. It wasn't a very big like wink wink to the audience to make them go, oh, let me roll my eyes. It was kind of fun. So all in all, I enjoyed this movie. If you want to see it, go to Tubi. You can see it on Tubi. I have, obviously, like I said, I have the DVD. Come on. I hate these things, seriously. DVD. And if you look on the back of the DVD, it's got like a behind the scenes documentary, which is pretty cool. That a lot of these wildlife stuff sometimes are just completely bare bones. So that was pretty neat. So anywho, that's it. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I don't know if we're rating this or not, so I'm gonna give my stinkometer rating. So 1 to 10 rating, 10 being very stinky and 1 being good, and you can go a half step, like 0.5. And I'm gonna say this because if we get 2 other people to watch it or something, maybe we'll post up the reviews or something. But I will say on the stinkometer, I would give it a 3.5. Yeah, I enjoyed it. It wasn't stinky. There's a little level of stink that happens in all indie films. But all in all, I thought it was really well done, and I thought it was pretty fun and entertaining, and didn't bore me at all. So it was, I did want to mention real quick. There was one thing I did not like, and I put this on Facebook about this, but I didn't mention what it was about. It was about this movie. When you do music, the only thing that really irritates me is when the music cuts off what the people are saying, especially if there's no closed captions option, which Wild Eye, get on that, because that's annoying. But if you can't do a closed caption thing, I think, I think a lot of Tubies have that option. But anyway, if you don't have that option and whatnot, you can't have the music play over the you can't have it play over the dialogue. If I can't hear you, because the music is too loud, that's not good. That's not good work. So usually you have to put the music down a little bit below below the dialogue, and you can still have the music in the background, but you can't have it be like the foreground. So just FYI, that had a lot of that in there, and that I think really was a big deal of why the points went down to 3, because some of the time I couldn't hear some of the dialogue because it was drowned out from the music. And great music. I didn't mind the music. The music was fantastic. Just whoever did this sound mixing on the editing did a terrible job. They should be fired. Sorry. Don't know if that was the editor, if that was the sound, if there was an actual sound editor guy, I don't know. But they did a terrible job, and I was very kind of sad about that. But you live, you learn. Maybe the next time they did a better job for the next movie. I don't know. Anywho, hope you guys enjoyed my little review, and check us in 2 weeks. You'll get Paul's little review, and we'll talk about what the next one is then. All right, talk to you later. Bye.